हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा तांडव प्रिय कर चंद्रकलाधर ईशा महेशा.
So what did I do? Again, unbelievable. I was having the camera like this. Once I focused on Swami, I kept the camera to the side on my shoulder, just keeping it focused and looking at Swami with my eyes. And then every time Swami would get that movement, I would simply click. I'm not even looking through the camera. I would simply click blind. Sai Ram. As you would have probably guessed, the next year, a huge influx of devotees during Shivaratri at Prashantinilayam. It was the 4th of March 2000, a very significant year marking the beginning of a new century, a new millennium itself, and everyone was eager to get this free moksha. That apart, dozens of photographers, everyone had brought their cameras because everybody wanted to capture the picture of Swami with the Lingam. In this scenario, I found myself in a little bit of a pickle. Now, what had happened was, during a cricket match in the school, I was in 12th grade, a few umpiring decisions did not go in our favor, and I went very angrily against the umpire, arguing and shouting, and the umpire happened to be the warden of the hostel, and he did not like it a little bit, how indisciplined we were, how boisterous we were, how argumentative we were, and how we spoke without giving respect to age. And because of that, a few of us were barred from participating in any sports and cultural activities that year. I felt sad, of course, but I took it in my stride and thought no problem. But then the problem came because it affected my photography. You see, it is not as if any student can carry the camera into the mandir. The warden has to give a special permission slip for you to take your camera. And because the warden was upset with me, he almost decided that never again he would give me a camera slip to take my camera to the mandir. That was it. I could no longer do and take my camera, and I was feeling so bad because this Shivratri, Swami would do Lingodbhavam and I wouldn't be able to capture it because I won't be allowed to get my camera to the mandir because the warden is not going to give me a permission slip. Oh my God, what do I do? So, much before, in the month of February itself, I had taken recourse to Swami. I had written a letter that, Swami, this year again Shivratri is coming. Last year I was the only person to get the photo of the Lingodbhavam. This year I want to be at least one of the people to get this photo of the Lingodbhavam. So Swami, I don't know how I'll do that, but you have to do it for me. Therefore, promise me, Swami, that if there is Lingodbhavam this year, I will get the picture or a photo of the Lingam in your mouth. Promise this for me, Swami. And this is the letter I had written, and I gave it to Swami, and Swami accepted it. Once Swami accepted it, I became relaxed. I felt 100% if there is Lingodbhavam, 100% I will get a photo of that Lingodbhavam, and that too with the Lingam in Swami's mouth, because Swami has accepted my letter and it's a promise. If at all the warden doesn't permit me to get my camera to the mandir, he will be denying the Lingodbhavam for the world, because Swami will not do Lingodbhavam. Because if he does Lingodbhavam, I have to capture the photo. How can I capture the photo if I don't have the camera? Which means, if I don't get the permission to take camera to the mandir, Lingodbhavam won't be there. Believe it or not, dear brothers and sisters, it might sound very absurd, but I had complete faith in this. I was so sure of this. Faith is a very, very strange thing indeed. And then came the 4th of March 2000. In the morning, for the stotram singing, when everybody was leaving for the mandir, I went to the warden's office to ask for the permission slip to take the camera. As expected, he denied it and I could not. So I sat there singing the stotrams without the camera, which I had during the previous year. Now in the evening, I knew that I had to take the camera somehow. I thought, see, in the morning, early morning, Swami will come and do Lingodbhavam. If I can take the camera now itself to the mandir and sit for the whole bhajans, the camera will remain there in the morning. So tomorrow morning I did not take camera permission slip from him, because what is there tonight will continue and I will take the Lingodbhavam photo. This was my plan. But when I went to the warden, he was not in any mood to give me the permission slip. In fact, he went out of the hostel, and in fact, he was the one who would send the lines to the mandir from the hostel in a very disciplined manner. He sent all the students to mandir. I was the only guy possibly left back in the hostel. I continued to wait. I thought I will try as much as I can. He came in and he said, "Why are you waiting? You go. You are not going to be taking the camera." And in my mind, I am thinking, "Sir, if you don't give me permission to take the camera, today evening is okay. Tomorrow morning you should, because otherwise there will be no Lingodbhavam. The world will be deprived of the Lingodbhavam." But all this is in my head. Exactly at that moment, Praveena sir, one of the teachers from the school, came walking down the steps and he said, "Sir, today our children, our 8th standard boys are chanting Veda in the mandir. We should have some photographer to take photos." "Oh, Arvind is here. Sir, can he take camera?" This was a piece of luck. The warden was caught. He was in a checkmate kind of situation. So he said, okay. He went and wrote a camera permission slip for me. But then he told me, go to the mandir, but after Swami completes the discourse and retires, you will have to come back to the hostel and keep the camera. This was, I felt he knew that I wanted to click the Lingodbhavam and he wanted to punish me by not permitting me to click the Lingodbhavam. So I said, okay, sir. I agreed and I went to the mandir. I ran to the mandir and some of my friends were surprised to see that I had the camera. They were wondering, how did you? I said, Swami did it, Swami did it. And I asked for some space and sat in the second line, right in the front. They gave me some space kind-heartedly and I sat there. But then before Swami could arrive for darshan, the warden comes there and tells me, "Why are you sitting in the front? Get up, go back." I was not understanding why he was targeting me like that. But then he said, "You have got a zoom lens, you can take a picture even from the back. So don't sit in the front, get up and go back." And that is how I landed up in the 8th or 9th line. And I was feeling sad, but then I thought, okay, no problem. My thing is not about taking photos now. This Vedam students chanting I will take. But how can I retain the camera till next day morning? This was going on in my head all the while. Now Swami arrived, completed the darshan rounds, and then the session began. The Veda chanting happened. I took photos. Yes, it is thanks to the Veda boys that I could get the camera, right? The 8th standard boys. I took that photo. After that, there were a couple of speeches followed by Bhagwan's discourse. And during the discourse, Swami spoke on this principle of the Hiranyagarbha. He spoke on the significance of Shivaratri. After all that, Swami started the first bhajan, with which the whole Akhanda bhajan began, and Swami retired into the interview room. Now, in a few moments he would emerge and he would retire. And now I was feverishly thinking, what should I do to somehow get the camera back tomorrow early morning? Because I know that once Swami retires, the warden will come and tell me to go keep the camera back in the hostel. I had no idea what I would do, but then the interview room door opened and Swami emerged. Instead of walking back towards the residence, Swami came walking and sat on the dais. He sat on his chair enjoying the bhajans. And so we all continued singing the bhajans. 1 bhajan, 2 bhajan, 3 bhajan, multiple bhajans are going on. The energy is building and now Swami began to get spasms. Huh? Swami is going to do the Lingodbhavam now! Wow! Oh, wow! Swami asked for water, Swami began to drink, and now I had experienced one Lingodbhavam the previous year, so I knew all the symptoms and signs, and these were them. So I was feeling thrilled. Oh my God, this is Swami's magnificent master plan, because of which I will be able to capture the Lingodbhavam photo. And how? The photo of the Lingam in Swami's mouth. Now as Swami is getting those spasms, I am trying to focus on him, but every now and then my camera lens is getting blocked. Why? Because in the first and second line, there are so many photographers, 6 or 7 at least, all of them with their cameras, and all of them are blocking my view. And I was like, oh my God, how will I click the Lingodbhavam? So I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to kneel up. But if I kneel up for a little longer time, people behind me will tell, sit down. Because they're not able to see. This is their chance for moksha and I'm depriving it. What do I do? What do I do? As the spasms became more frequent and more intense, the number of photographs, you could see the flashes. Everybody is taking photos also. Swami suddenly held his eye like that and Swami said, can you please put the camera down? It's hurting my eyes. Swami said this. In that very instant, everybody in the first 2 rows were made to put their cameras down. A few of them still had the desire to take a photo, but then strictly they were told, put your camera down, put your camera down. And thus all the cameras had been put down, except mine, because mine was a distance away and nobody bothered. Wow, now slowly I was understanding, oh, again I will have a chance to click the photo here because I have not been told to put my camera down. So now I picked up my camera and began to focus on Swami, and I kept the camera at my eye steady, trying to focus on him, and every now and then when Swami would get that spasm, I would click. He gets a spasm, I would click, but it would be water, it would be sometimes nothing, and I kept waiting with bated breath when it would happen. At that time a sudden thought struck me. Every time, as I said, when Swami got the spasm and I clicked, I saw that the shutter would close. See, it is not the modern day camera, it is the analog camera and film camera. So every time you click, the shutter comes like that. Click, click, click. So every time that happens, I realized that there would be a fraction of a second when I could not see anything. Which means when the Lingodbhavam actually happens, if I take a photo, there would be a fraction of a second when I won't see the Lingodbhavam. Which means my moksha is not assured. Well, of course, one may say that I had already got my moksha the previous year because I had seen. But then what if I had missed? Why would I want to miss this and lose a chance to ensure or get an insurance of my moksha? This is a thought. I didn't want to miss it even this year. Like, no, if somebody says you got it last year, no need this year. No, I want to get it this year as well. So this was a thought going on in my head now. Oh God, I will click a photograph. My idea was, if I get a photo of the Lingam in Swami's mouth, future generations to come will be able to view this photograph, and you never know. Swami never said those who see this Lingam emerging in the physical presence. I mean, if it's a photo also, can they get? If it's a video also, can they get? We don't know. We can think about it later, but we can think about it only if the photo or video is there, right? So why not get the photo? This was a noble thought. But am I ready to sacrifice my moksha for the sake of everybody else? I wasn't that selfless yet. I don't know if I'm selfless now also, but that time I definitely was not. So what did I do? Again, unbelievable. I was having the camera like this. Once I focused on Swami, I kept the camera to the side on my shoulder, just keeping it focused and looking at Swami with my eyes. And then every time Swami would get that movement, I would simply click. I'm not even looking through the camera. I would simply click blind. And then, dear brothers and sisters, that moment when I suddenly saw like the golden lingam at Swami's mouth, I just clicked. This is the result. This magnificent picture of the Lingam as it is, half inside, half outside, exact emergence. The only Lingodbhavam picture that emerged that year. There were many photographers in the year 2000, but this kind of image nobody could capture. Dear brothers and sisters, after that Shivaratri, I got the chance to witness 6 more Lingodbhavams, and my cameras got more advanced. In fact, there was a time when my camera could shoot 7 frames per second. Despite shooting at such speeds, I got a digital camera also. Never again was I able to capture the Lingodbhavam like this, because a Lingodbhavam is never captured. It is a gift that is given. Swami had redeemed my faith, my confidence that if there is Lingodbhavam, I will be able to get the photo of the Lingam in his mouth. I am so grateful to Swami for having given that blessing, because we cannot click a photo like that. He has to give. The entire credit is his. And that is how the Shivaratri of 2000 became the greatest, most beautiful and most significant Shivaratri of my life. To this day, I don't know if this Lingodbhavam photo, seeing it, is equivalent to getting moksha. I don't know. Swami neither said that it would happen, nor did he negate that. But I believe firmly that this Lingodbhavam photo is a strong reminder every moment of my life to strive for moksha and moksha alone, to settle for nothing less. And that is the reason I keep seeing this photograph. And in case you are interested too in this photograph, in the pinned comment below and in the description section of this video, I have given you a link for a high resolution version of this photograph. This is Swami's gift to the whole world, and may it be like that. Share it on, download it, make prints, keep it, whatever. May we always remember that our goal during Shivaratri, during our entire life, is to move closer and closer to his lotus feet, to achieve moksha or merger with him. Dear Swami, may we achieve our life's sole goal of merger with you, and during that journey, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.